Hello everybody. The Warriors took care of the Raptors at home, and in the middle of it all, Jonathan Kuminga exploded for 4 straight threes in 2 minutes of game time. This is a simple high pick and roll, right in the middle of the court, flat screen by Looney. Steph takes the screen, and VanVleet is going to get hung up on the screen. Thaddeus Young picks up Steph and just tries to keep him from getting all the way to the basket and give VanVleet enough time to catch up. VanVleet, of course, is sticking to Steph Curry because no one ever got fired for following Steph, and Steph is driving into Young to seal in the double team, which leaves Looney free to go down the middle, and so Steph is going to dump the pass off. And Achiuwa over here has been told to leave Jonathan Kuminga freely in the corner. No one is afraid of Kuminga shooting threes. So as Looney cuts down the lane, Achiuwa is rotated well off of Kuminga. Kuminga is now the only person on this half of the court. VanVleet does hustle, but VanVleet is half a foot shorter, so there's no way he can block this shot. This play comes out of the Warriors' thumb out set, which always starts off with the ball being thrown to the wing, which threatens some kind of give and go action, but a common option is for there to be a fake dribble handoff and the ball to come back to the other side. Steph comes around, gets the pin down from Looney. Toronto flows right into their pick and roll defense. We've got one defender dropped to contain Steph's drives, and the other defender feeling up Steph's right buttock. Steph's main goal right now is to make sure 2 men are really defending him so that Looney can spring free to the basket. These 2 guys have Steph sandwiched in there pretty well. It would be a little tricky to get this pass to Looney, but it doesn't matter because Achiuwa does not trust, and he rotates over to cover Looney just in case Steph can get the pass through. And that leaves our friend Jonathan Kuminga in his own quadrant alone with his thoughts. Steph gets free and thinks about passing it to Looney and sees that Achiuwa is rotated. JK's got to be open in the corner. He sort of shot puts this pass right to JK, and he just made a 3 from this exact spot. Steph definitely wants to keep on hitting the Raptors the same way until they adjust, so he calls for the pick and roll at the middle of the court. Thaddeus Young containing Steph, Fred VanVleet trying to set up camp on Steph's buttock, Looney cutting. I don't know if this is a brilliant pass or a reckless pass. Maybe it's both, but it whizzes right by Thaddeus Young's eyebrows, and now Looney's got it on the roll. Precious Achiuwa helping off of Kuminga. I'm sure it was the coach's game plan. Looney can pass it to the left just as well as to the right, and I think Kuminga's found the range from the corner. Steph sets up on the wing. Toronto decides they're going to try some of the Shining Twins defense where they stand in front of him and say, Steph, play with us forever and ever. And Steph flings this ball over to JK. Donte DiVincenzo with leadership at the beginning of the play. Kuminga's defender has left to go pick up Steph, and Donte points out to Kuminga that he should lift up to the top of the wing to give Steph a release. Now there's a 2-on-1 on this side of the court after JK burned Achiuwa 3 straight times for threes. Amazingly, Achiuwa takes a little stab towards Kuminga and then veers off, expecting Kuminga to rotate it to DiVincenzo. JK says, well, I already started attacking the closeout, let me just keep on going. By this time, Steph's double teamer has recovered into the play, so it looks like everything's back under control for the Raptors, right? Steph does something subtle here. He just runs up to this defender, and that gets the defender going with Steph. Fred VanVleet is following Steph because no one ever got fired for sitting on Steph Curry's buttocks. And now we've got 2 people guarding Steph again, which leaves JK completely open. Anthony Lamb attacks this closeout. JK, now enjoying his own private hemisphere, gets the kick out from Lamb. Now JK really does have to shoot it. This closeout's a little too late, and JK has found the range. Can't help talking about one last play. This is the Steph 3 that pretty much iced the game at 3.5 minutes. Donte DiVincenzo throws the ball over to Steph. I guess his defender just thought DiVincenzo was going to cut through, and he starts following DiVincenzo, but it's really the ghost of DiVincenzo, and so he just ends up way away. DiVincenzo runs over, sets the small screen. Steph accepts this gratefully. Looney here sees a chance to screen 2 people for the price of 1. He just backs his butt up to get in the way of DiVincenzo's defender. This defender is dropped way back. Steph steps into a nice open 3. Steph is fated to make this shot. Let's look at the contact from the defender. You know, it's so hard to see. The NBA allows high 5 contact where you're just hitting the hand of the shooter after the shot, but this kind of looks like wrist-to-wrist contact. Let's use our advanced lip reading technology. I'm the top poi. Yeah, Steph is declaring that he is the top poi, the legendary Hawaiian starch, hypoallergenic, gluten-free. I'm gonna admit, I'm not the biggest fan of poi. Maybe I've just never had good poi, but you know what? If it's good enough for Steph, it's good enough for me.